Please come in, come in.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sit down.
Thank you.
Gautham Raj,
Yes, sir.
please introduce yourself.
So myself, S Gautham Raj. I'm coming from a place called Kollam in Kerala. And so I did my schooling and all in Kerala. And I did my graduation in mechanical engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. And presently I'm undergoing training in the Indian Postal Service and I belong to the 2019 batch.
2019 batch.
Yes.
What are your hobbies?
So my hobbies include quizzing, solving numerical puzzles, following film works of Maniratnam. These are my hobbies.
You have, your optional paper has been mathematics?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long have you worked in postal service?
So I belong to the 2019 batch. After joining, I had taken 1 year extraordinary leave, and then I rejoined back on 2021 January. And presently, I'm undergoing training in the postal service.
Okay. We start with Dr. Sinha.
Okay, Gautham.
Good morning, sir.
You were also a member of the student team which visited Israel, Jordan, and you were also participant and in charge of annual cultural fest in your college time.
Yes, sir.
Right? You have
Yes.
written in your dab.
Yes, sir.
So, have you heard of Speak Mackay?
Yes, sir.
What is the full form of Speak Mackay?
Exact full form, I'm not able to recollect, sir. But it's about cultural. It's about organizing cultural fests, cultural events, etc. With participation from education institutions like IITs and all.
Okay. So, you give us some brief idea why it was set up and what was the aim and objective.
Sorry, sir, I am not
Yeah.
aware
All
of
right.
that.
So, you also visited Israel and Jordan. When was this?
So it was in 2008 when I was in my 9th standard. So I got
Okay.
a second prize in a quiz competition at the district level. So we were taken for a brief 1-week visit to these
Okay.
3 countries.
So, a long time back.
Yes, sir.
So, but any memory of that visit that you have?
Yes, sir, definitely. I have good memories of spending time in Egypt, Israel, and Jordan. In Jordan, we go to visit places like capital city Amman and the national ancient Colosseum, Dead Sea. And in
So,
this,
can a person go from Jordan to Israel? Because many of these Arab countries don't have any relation.
so via road travel, you can travel from Jordan to Israel, and we have a border check post at the border area. So we need to show our visa, passport, and other credentials, and we can travel from Jordan
So,
to Israel.
does Israel and Jordan have normal relation, or there is some kind of a problem there? Border check is very intense, or is it like normal? What is the?
So Israel had relations with Arab countries, but Jordan is one of the country to have normalized relationship with Israel with the Jordanian and Israel peace treaty. I think it was in somewhere around 1990s. So that was undertaken. So post that, the checks and all, or the regulations and all, is usual protocol based thing. And
What about Egypt? Egypt has normal relation.
So, as far as I remember, in 1979, Egypt and Israel has normalized their relationships following the Camp David Accord.
Why is it called Camp David?
Sir, it's related to some place. That place is called Camp David. I don't know the historical significance of that, sir.
But where is this Camp David?
Sorry, sir, I am not able to.
Okay, last question. You tell me, have you heard of Abraham Accord?
Yes, sir.
Why is it called Abraham?
So, because of the religious significance, because the Middle East region, especially Egypt, Israel, and Jordan, they all have Abrahamic religions like the Christianity, Judaism, or Islam. They all have emanated from the patriarch called as the Abraham. So it is based
Who was
on
Abraham?
So Abraham, as far as I remember, actually, Abraham was a revolutionary, like who was the who believed in a monotheistic kind of religious practice, and it was based on his devotion to God, that like the God has given him a promised land, a holy land,
Okay.
and a lot
So
of descendants.
you tell us something about Abraham Accord. Who are the countries who have sign this Abraham Accord?
So, as far as I remember, Abraham Accords was signed by UAE and Bahrain, which have normalized the relationship with the Israel, and they followed countries like Egypt and Jordan in normalizing relationship with Israel, and as part of that, they have engaging in diplomatic ties.
So what is the need for them to get into this normalization process? What is the need?
So, I think there are several reasons behind it. One is, obviously the strengthening the trade cooperation, economic cooperation, security alliances. Another is that these countries also have issues with Iran, so joining with Israel to counter against Iran, that is also one of the reasons behind it.
Okay, last question. Does it impact India in any way, or it really doesn't matter? It's a Middle East, West Asia mamla.
So, India has often taken a very tightrope or balanced position with respect to Israel and Palestine. Especially India has historically supported the two-nation solution, and recently we have been adopting a dehyphenation approach. So, we were balancing the Israel and Arab relations.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Gautam,
good morning, sir.
you are working in the Indian Postal Service.
Yes, sir.
Does your department have enough work?
Yes, sir. We have enough work,
No,
sir.
because my feeling is most of the communication these days is electronic. So people don't write letters, we don't send money orders.
So, as you have said, definitely the volume of letters or the ordinary mail that we used to call regularly, that has significantly come down. But at the same time, the volume of parcels or the e-commerce segment is rapidly growing, and it is growing at around 15 to 18%. And we contribute.
But so many courier services are there. Why should people avail of your department?
So, primarily because of the network and connectivity that we have. We have around 1.56 lakh post offices spread across the length and breadth of the country.
I know, but will you survive? How do you see the future of your department? With the work dwindling, will your department survive?
So I think the department will definitely survive, primarily because in the mail sector, sir, the parcel segment which is growing at 15%, and we presently have only 3% share. So that means we have a huge scope of improvement, and we have planned a roadmap for realizing around 10,000 crore revenue from the parcel segment. Apart from that, sir, in the financial sector, we are contributing significantly with the Post Office Savings Bank, Postal Life Insurance, and we have recently ventured into India Post Payments Bank. And apart from that, sir, when citizen-centric services, we have pivotal role. We have Aadhaar enrollment updation centers, common services centers,
So
which are operated
in a way, your department is looking for work outside your core competence.
So, I think historically, the India Post, with its huge presence, played an important role in driving the financial inclusion, especially to the vulnerable sections, rural areas, where the bank density or the other financial institutions density is
Okay,
limited.
now tell me about, let us say, small savings.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what the scheme is like?
So,
What happens to the money collected under small savings?
So, it's a scheme operated by the Ministry of Finance. They decide the interest rate quarterly, and so the money collected by the small savings used to be given as loans to states and all. That is for infrastructure purpose.
It is felt that only the backward states are investing in small savings. There, like states like UP and Bihar, you will get a lot of money from small savings. But Maharashtra, Gujarat, they will not. Why so?
So, as far as I know, I think with the development of market, other sources of borrowing also have come up from the external market.
So people are shifting. Those who are aware are shifting to different sources rather than investing in small savings. That business will also dwindle in due course. Will it not?
Yes, sir. It has definitely challenges and all. But at the same time, there are several small savings schemes which are used for pursuing the social objectives. Like Sukanya Samriddhi account is one thing, which is for women empowerment, and senior citizen savings scheme, which is for the protection or social security for the vulnerable. So that all schemes should be there for furthering the social and economic objectives of the country.
Now, do you know how much has been envisaged in the current budget for small savings? Current year's budget.
Sorry, sir, I haven't gone through it. I will.
You haven't seen the budget?
So I haven't.
When is your interview?
So I've seen the budget.
22nd,
sir, but I haven't seen the outlay of the.
No, okay, where do you think it will be appearing in the budget? Any idea? Okay.
Sorry, sir.
Now, let me ask you just one more question. Are you aware of the Gati Shakti plan of the government?
So it is the large-scale infrastructure projects that the government is planning to develop with state participation, private sector participation, which is focused on mobilizing around 100 lakh crore in the coming years.
We'll talk about it when you come for feedback.
I missed, are you asking postal bank or general small savings?
Small savings.
So now India Post is doing the postal bank, huh? How is that doing?
Ma'am, it was established in 2017, India Post Payments Bank. So in that we are offering current account, savings account, and we are offering remittance services. And we presently have around 5 crore accounts, and we have.
What is the turnover? Or the deposits, shall I say? What total deposits?
Ma'am, the total number of accounts are the 5 crore accounts, and recently we have initiated one Aadhaar-enabled payment system. With that, we have dispersed around 20,000 crore to people.
So the postal bank is doing both deposits and advances?
Ma'am, we are not offering loan services.
So what are you disbursing?
So ma'am, basically it is an initiative of the National Payments Corporation of India to give doorstep banking services to people.
So what are you disbursing? What is the postal bank disbursing?
Ma'am, basically we are collaborating with state governments, central governments for DBT of various government schemes or various old age pensions, other things. And apart from that,
but those, like for example, the direct benefit transfers are through Jan Dhan accounts, etc. So where do you come into the picture?
Ma'am, actually the Aadhaar-enabled payment system that I was saying, a person need not go to the ATM or bank for dispersing. So the postman with the phone will come to his doorstep and he will disperse the money to him. So this is beneficial, especially
for utilization of manpower.
Yes.
What has been the profitability or otherwise of this 2017, now it's 2022. So at least 3 clear years you would have got.
Yes, ma'am.
What has been the profitability?
Ma'am, as far as I remember, it has not turned into a fully profitable entity. And ma'am, there are inherent challenges, especially because we are not allowed to disburse loans, and also we have a limitation in collecting revenue. Okay, but we are engaging in partnerships with third parties for selling financial products also.
Now, you've read today's papers?
Sorry, ma'am?
You've read today's papers?
Sorry, ma'am, I haven't read today's papers.
Okay. So, well, you do know that RBI, the MPC was going to consider the interest rates. Do you know what they have done on the interest rates?
Ma'am, as far as I have seen, I think the repo rate was kept unchanged, ma'am.
What is the repo rate and what is reverse repo rate? If you define them in one sentence each.
Ma'am, repo rate is the rate at which the banks can lend or take money from the Reserve Bank. So it basically, if repo rate is in
how much is it?
Sorry, ma'am, I am not able to.
What is reverse repo rate?
Ma'am, reverse repo rate is that if the banks park funds at the RBI, the interest rate that they will be.
What is the reverse repo rate?
Sorry, ma'am, I am not.
Okay, all right. Now, you're a mechanical engineer, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
And the other, you talked about India Post as being one of the largest entities with the biggest network. Railways is another.
Yes,
what are your views about the changes that are being brought about in the railways? One, with a view to manpower, and second, ultimately on the commercial side.
Ma'am, the railways have been witnessing several changes, especially with push for more private participation in the railway operations.
First question was manpower.
Yeah,
second was commercial.
Ma'am, with manpower, railway is one of the largest employer in the world. So, like, I'm not exactly aware about any recent change to in the manpower arrangement in railways, ma'am.
And on the commercial side, is there any specific, not a general thing?
Ma'am, generally in the, especially private sector participation in the operation of trains.
Be specific where?
Sorry, ma'am, I'm not able to recollect it.
Then my next question I will not ask. You say you like Mani Ratnam films, right?
Yes,
So you must have seen Ravan.
Yes, ma'am.
Now that is with the Naxal problem.
Yes, ma'am.
From the perspective of the Naxalite.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what did Chhattisgarh get wrong and what did erstwhile Andhra Pradesh get right in handling this problem?
Ma'am, I think coming first to the issues with Chhattisgarh, ma'am, when we compare with Andhra Pradesh, they had a dedicated security force. Coming to the security side, they had a dedicated security force which had expertise in guerrilla warfare, and that helped in tackling the left-wing extremism to a significant extent. And they also had a significant.
What was it called? What is the specialized force called?
Ma'am, as far as I remember, it is Operation Greyhound forces.
Correct.
And
yes.
apart from that, ma'am, they have a proper surrender cum rehabilitation policy from the initial phase onwards that helped in rehabilitation and surrendering of the militants. Plus, apart from that, they had invested in social development scheme.
What about Chhattisgarh? What didn't they do out of all this?
Ma'am, there was a huge trust deficit or governance deficit between the locals and the
But there was
people.
not one in Andhra Pradesh. They attempted to kill the chief minister also. There was an attack on him.
Yes, ma'am, there was there. But through these initiatives, they have engaged with the local community and helped to bridge the trust deficit and all, ma'am. So,
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're fond of quizzing, right? So
Yes,
I'm a quiz master myself.
Yes, sir.
Let me shoot a number of questions and see how you fare.
Yes, sir.
Hema Hardikar, how is she better known as?
Hema
Hardikar.
Hardikar. Sorry, sir, I am not.
Lata Mangeshkar.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Who was the first to get an Oscar and a Nobel Prize? Nobel Prize for Literature.
Sir, I think it's Bertrand. Sorry, sir.
George Bernard Shaw.
George Bernard Shaw. Sorry, sir.
What is known as the Golden Grand Slam in tennis?
So the Wimbledon.
The 4 slams plus what? Golden Grand Slam.
Sorry, sir, I am not able to.
Olympic gold.
Oh, yeah.
And who's the only person to have achieved this Golden Grand Slam? I think you're a little out of touch with your quizzing. Right?
Yes, sir.
It's Steffi Graf.
Okay, sir.
What was the first Bollywood movie of Mani Ratnam, since you were following him?
So the first official Bollywood movie of Mani Ratnam would be Dil Se, sir.
Yes, that's right. What is the meaning of Sudoku, since you're keen on numerical puzzles?
Yeah.
Sudoku.
So I am not aware of the name.
The actual meaning, it means single digit.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And what is Wordle?
So Wordle is a word game based puzzle where you can make 6 guesses to make a word correct.
Very good. And what is the Indian connection? Any idea? The inventor of Wordle has an Indian connection.
Okay, sir. Sorry, I don't
know. He made it for his girlfriend Palak Shah.
Okay.
Are you aware of this term Ponzi scheme? What is a Ponzi scheme?
So Ponzi
and how does it operate?
So Ponzi schemes are basically kind of schemes which are marketed as money multipliers and multi-level marketing schemes where you pool in money from a lot of people and agree them that say your money will be doubled in after so and so time. So basically that kind of schemes. Sir.
And is the money doubled?
So the Ponzi schemes are currently regulated and prohibited under various acts of the government, but there are certain schemes like cheat funds and all which are regulated by the RBI.
Can you give me an example?
So for what regulated?
Of a Ponzi scheme in India, which was very much in the news a couple of months back. West Bengal?
So the Sharda.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, which was the first fully literate district in the country, since you come from that state?
So Kottayam is the first. Kottayam is the first fully literate state.
And which year?
Sir, it was in 1989. Means around during that time. So 1980s, I think. I am not able to recollect the exact year, sir.
My last question. Have you heard of the NEP?
Yes, sir.
New Education Policy.
Yes, sir.
under whose chairmanship was it drafted?
So the so there was a Kasturi Rangan committee set up for the drafting of
That's right.
new education.
And there are 4 pillars on which it is based. Can you tell me?
So I am not able to recollect the exact pillar, but I can recollect some of the basic features of the new education policy, sir.
Okay,
So,
we will discuss when you come back with the feedback, right?
okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Govind, sorry, Gautam,
Okay.
please wait for a few
Okay,
minutes.
sir.
We'll call you for feedback.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.